Talk Real Estate with Sharon McNamara, sponsored by Boston Connect Real Estate Services.
Hi, I'm your host, Sharon McNamara, and you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Let me share a little bit about my background before we get started. I am the broker-owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, a boutique firm that is home to over 30 real estate sales and marketing agents who service home buyers and home sellers throughout Boston, the South Shore, the South Coast, and Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting our clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my co-host Melissa Wallace and I will provide you with my team's unique marketing approach to selling homes and share with you our expertise in navigating the home buying process. We value the experience of our agents at Boston Connect Real Estate so much that not only will you hear my perspective on real estate topics, occasionally you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of our experienced agents at Boston Connect Real Estate. Be a part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate.
And hello to all my South Shore neighbors. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. My name is Melissa Wallace, and I have my co-host tonight, the one, the only, Kristen Howlett.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just sharing on Facebook.
Oh, she's sharing on Facebook. Yes, we are live on Facebook, so be sure to follow Boston Connect Real Estate. But of course, we're live right now. And if you miss any of our past shows, you can go to talkrealestateroundtable.com, or you can listen to us on whatever you listen to your podcast on, podcast app, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever.
And listen up. We want to hear from you tonight. Call in.
We want to hear from you. Yeah, we, Kristen and I met today in the office and sort of planned out the next month and a half worth of shows. So if you didn't listen to us this past Saturday, I was live with Sharon McNamara, the broker owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, my co-host on Saturdays. And just to let all of our Tuesday night listeners know that might have missed our show on Saturday, we are moving. Yes,
Moving? What do you mean
realtors
moving?
move too. So right now our Saturday show is from 10 to 11, but we are going to be the first show of the day. So we are moving to 8 a.m. on Saturdays. So from 8 to 9 will be our new time slot. So,
I like that, though.
Yeah, it'll be different. Sharon has a new construction development coming on in Hanson, and she'll be doing open houses every Saturday and Sunday. So the 10 to 11 was tough. I mean, we're realtors. 10 to 11 is tough on a Saturday when you're doing open houses. So
I love listening to Acoustic Sunrise on Sundays.
Yes, you do.
That's my jam. And I like listening to it while I have my coffee.
Yeah.
And so I bet it will be a good time for people if they're cleaning their house or driving in the car. I think it's a great time.
Well, I know people who literally will put on WATD and just have it on all day. So I know we'll get the early birds on Saturday. So,
that's good.
but if you're up and about and want to talk real estate on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m., be sure to listen to us because we're moving from 10 to 8. But yeah, so that starts this Saturday. So tune in. I feel like we're unveiling a new show, even though it's going to be the same show, but now we're earlier.
Well, you can.
We'll still be doing live on Facebook. I just might not look great. I don't know if I can look that good at 8 a.m. on a Saturday, but we'll see. But anyways, you and I put together a little calendar. So, Sharon hasn't joined me for the past couple of Tuesdays, but I'm sort of going to be taking the lead on our Tuesday night show. So I have Kristen. You've been so gracious to grace me with your presence.
I'm always down for a challenge.
Yeah, you're down for a challenge, and you sort of signed up with me for a couple shows coming up for the next 6 weeks or so. I have you penciled in a couple times. So we just want to highlight a lot of our agents and vendors and stuff. So I'm sort of just
some new fun things coming up.
Fun things. Do you want to Do you
No.
want? No? Okay.
No.
Kristen came up with a really great idea, and I can't tell anybody
We're
about
gonna
it.
run with it.
We're going to run
fun.
with it, yeah. Tuesdays are going to, we're getting a little revamp, so stick with us because I think we're going to have a lot of fun. But we had one topic in the beginning of the morning, which is first-time home buyers, which I am a first-time home buyer. I have a sad story this week, but that's okay. Moving on. But we're not doing first-time home buyers anymore. We're going to do that in a couple of weeks. But you sort of came up with this. I know you're still trying to share on Facebook, but you sort of came up with this topic. But before we go into the topic, in case somebody hasn't heard you before on the radio, why don't you reintroduce yourself to all of our listeners?
My name is Kristen Howlett. I am a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate. I service, it's funny, I just emailed somebody. I service pretty much all of Massachusetts within reason, within driving distance. I'm up for anything. But mainly, I live in Bridgewater with my family. So mainly, Bridgewater's, Rainham, South Shore, Taunton area.
Yeah.
I've branched out to Fall River. I'm New Bedford, anywhere really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've grown to love that little area down there. I have to pick my son up from the ferry on Friday night, and we've already planned our dinner around being at the New Bedford ferry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's cute.
I've never been there.
You would love it.
Okay.
It's super cute.
Might have to
It's a great
stroll
little
down
area,
there.
and it's been revitalized over the past couple of years, and I love that. It's got like cobblestone streets, and when the kids were little, they always did a field trip. I think they were in second grade or third grade. Oh, maybe fourth grade. It was the Whaling Museum, and I did it 3 years. And but it's very charming. At one time, it was one of the wealthiest cities in Massachusetts because all of the it's very interesting. You can see the blubber, the whale.
I feel like you're giving
oil.
a little sneak peek into what our secret
as I was
is.
saying that, I was gonna talk about it.
As you were saying it, you were going to expose our little secret segment we have coming up in the next couple weeks. But and obviously anybody can go to bostonconnect.com and get all of our agents' contact information. But you are a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate. You're pretty much my co-host. You're like the unofficial title. But I hope you tell everybody that you're my co-host.
I'm like we'll have to come up with a good word.
You're part of
title.
What are the other titles that you've given yourself?
I am the I am the director of community outreach.
Yep.
I am the president of the forms committee.
Which it's the two of us.
And what else am I? I have a couple.
I love the
hats.
community outreach, and then I laugh with the forms thing because we're really bad at this. We've been saying we need to change our forms.
Change our forms.
We've been talking about this committee for
every time I get
years.
Every time I get a mandatory form to fill out from another brokerage and it looks good, I'm like, oh shoot, we are way behind.
Yeah, I know. But we're making some changes here, which are going to be good. And no, they're not going to be good. They're going to be great for our agents. So so we're getting the forms committee together again. Just we're together right now, but whatever. Okay, so tonight, so we were going to talk about first-time home buyers. I will share a little thing before.
So rip the Band-Aid off.
Ripping the Band-Aid off. I didn't have a great week because I did put in an offer. So I put it in on Sunday. On a property. They ended up getting 13 offers. So yesterday I revised my offer and put in highest and best, and I really did. I mean, I caught you. You actually saw the house with me. Mary saw the house with me. Everybody that I've ever known who's driven by the house was like, "Oh my gosh, it's great for you, perfect, whatever." You and Zoe, my cat, and I called Jasmine. So. Glasgow Maritime Mortgage. That's who I am going through. And I was just like, I need to pull out all the stops. And she's like, wow, okay. Because she's never heard me say that before. I'm like, I want this.
And let's preface that by saying, because that is the market we are in.
Yeah, that's the market that we're in. So I put in my original offer on Sunday, and once I heard that there was 13 offers, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go all in. And then I got my phone call last night that unfortunately my offer was not chosen because they went with a cash offer. And, Yeah, I mean, I don't have $400,000 in cash. I don't know anybody who could give me $400,000 in cash, so it's out of my control. I clearly couldn't compete with that. But yeah, I mean, it's a bummer. Like, I was definitely feeling very down about this whole experience for me, and I think that we try to keep it real on this show because we're talk real estate roundtable. We're keeping it real. We always say that, and I've been very honest about my personal experience during this process. And you know, buyer fatigue is a real thing. Like, I'm bummed. Yeah, I really am bummed. Yeah,
because it's so emotional. Because you go from, I mean, literally yesterday we were planning about where you were gonna like put furniture. Like you'd already moved in our mind. Yeah.
And maybe that's definitely not something that we should do. But, you know, I just, as much as I was fully confident with what I was going in at, I was like still so like scared and nervous, but I felt like different this time. Like, I felt like scared and nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, like I could get it. Like, my offer was great.
Your offer was great. And you know what
offer?
And you know what I think too? I think part of the reason why you feel like this is because you know 100% you put your best foot forward. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, so it doesn't feel any better that, you know, that I didn't get it. You know, so it is what it is. And I think that during our first time home buyer thing, when we do, what are we doing? A radio show. Yeah, during a radio show is we'll talk about, you know, I don't know if it's that one we should talk it on or another show, but it's like, I don't know why people are afraid of financing. Like, I understand that the saying is cash is king, but like that doesn't mean that somebody who is getting financing is not qualified. Like they, you know, like
it really
can be a very strong buyer. I mean, if I have if my loan officer is calling the listing agent twice over the weekend to tell them how strong of a buyer I am. And
you could close within 3 weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't even 3 weeks, you know, I don't know why it's automatically like, oh, we got to take the cash. I got to take the cash. Like, I don't know. We'll get into that because you know we have a whole different topic. But yeah, so that's my depressing story for the week. I'm a little
like
bummed.
My bonus offer because I had 2 offers out too for both first time home. Nope, one is a second time buyer, but they both got kicked to the curb too.
Yeah, it's a bummer, but
on to the next. I do feel like it's also a roller coaster that we're on, where it's like I feel like every Monday we wait to see what comes on, and there has been this underlying like, you know, butterflies in my stomach because the market is so kind of not predictable. Yeah, and we go out, we look, and then we put an offer in, and we're so excited. And as we're waiting, we're moving in our mind, and we're thinking about all the things that are so great. Yeah. And then we don't get it, and we're like, oh, it wasn't that great anyway. Yeah. Well, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's kind of how me and my buyers kind of do it. And then we're like, it was great. But believe me, if it came up again, we would jump at it. But I feel like it's almost like your coping mechanism that you have to be like, all right, this is great. All right, there's a chance. Okay, this is good. I might get it. Yep, I'm moving into, crap.
Yeah. All right. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, it wasn't for me. No, I think that it was. Like, I think that it was.
Listen, right before we came on, I again searched.
Yeah, you said, oh, why don't you buy this house? It was $650. I can't do $650.
But we are seeing a lot.
Oh yeah, we're seeing a lot of I know we're getting off topic. Back on market.
Yeah. So you never know. And who knows? In your situation, we did talk about it. Getting wrapped up with a bunch of people at a weekend. They had 3 open houses this weekend at that one. So getting wrapped up in that and putting in an offer, sometimes no matter if it's cash or financing, there's some buyer remorse. So you know what? Things happen, and you can't take yourself out of the game until it actually closes, because you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. And your offer's in, and hopefully it'll be a backup. Yeah. And that's it.
I know. I got a butt dial today from the listing agent, so I was like, oh, what? So I just texted her and I was like, hey, did you mean
As
to
we were
call
just
me?
sitting here, I just came up with another idea, so I'm going to think about that tomorrow.
All right, yeah, but that totally off topic. But yes, so I am bummed, depressed, whatever. But somebody said today, so Ginny Wandell, who is a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, she hosted our Tuesday roundtable during the day discussion, and I talked about this, and somebody in the discussion, I don't remember who it was, it might have even been Ginny, said that, you know what that means? It just means that the seller of the home that you're going to buy is just not ready to sell today, but they may be ready to sell tomorrow. They may be ready to sell next week.
Ginny always makes you feel better.
I know.
She's good like that.
But I need them to come on the market tomorrow. But yes, okay. So we're not going to talk about that anymore. Moving on to the next house.
Right,
but
I'm
moving on to the real
why
topic.
why I thought that this was a great idea for this evening is because another agent that I follow on Facebook posted, if you are thinking about putting your house on the market in the fall, we need to get some exterior pictures now. Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh yeah, that's so true. So I did reach out to, I have 2 listings that are coming on, and those were 2 people that I reached out. Like, we've got to get a picture of the pool as it looks nice and the green is grass, because the leaves are falling in my house. So
I know.
It's gonna happen so quick.
Even some of the leaves here at the office were falling. I just said that to you the other day. I was like, wait, what happened to this tree? Like,
I was just on the porch eating a whoopie pie and drinking a coffee, and it felt like fall.
I know. Today's a little chilly, and I love it. I can't wait to get home and open my window because I'm going to let the breeze come in.
So tonight we're going to talk about maximizing, if you are thinking about selling your house in the fall or the winter or for the remainder of 2023, we have some really good ideas for you to maximize your home's value.
Yeah.
And it does not have to cost you a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always, and I don't even know if it's in here, but in our agenda, but I always like maximizing your home value as a home buyer. See, like now I have a different perspective. Now that now I'm everything that I have been talking about on the radio show for almost a year now that I've been looking is like through the eyes of a buyer, you know? And so what I'm looking for is mechanical things. So like, have you been maintaining your mechanicals? Have you been updating or just making sure that things are clean, making sure that they're being, serviced every year or anything like that? Like, those are the things that are important to me. Cosmetics and all that stuff, that doesn't bother me. Like, I'm probably going to go in there and make it my own anyways. Yeah. But that's part of the reason why I really liked this house over the weekend is because it had like a new roof, new heating system, new windows.
I could not get over how clean it was.
Yeah.
Hey, we have Sharon on the line. Let's join you.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi. I'm sorry. I tried calling earlier too, but I don't know what happened. But I know you want to get off this topic, but can I vent? Because I feel like I was emotionally attached to this one too.
Sure.
With your offer, I don't think it's fair that parents are buying houses for their kids and paying cash for it. I'm just going to put it out there.
Well, I wasn't going to say it.
Well, I told her that if I had the cash, I would have. Oh, who's this?
Yeah,
I get it though. I do get it.
I get it, but it just doesn't seem fair. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. That's how I felt about that one. Your offer was great, and don't give up hope because you really did go all in on that one.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah, I did. Even Jasmine was like, wow. Like, she knows that I'm well qualified for what I offered. Like, even more, she was like, well, you could go higher. And I'm like, yeah, but this is what it's worth. This is what it's worth. I mean, I was already going over more than I thought I was originally going to go over. But I did give it my all because I was like, you know what? I really want this house. Like, I'm going to let them know that, like, I'm serious and this is what I want. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way because, like Sharon says, it was somebody who was purchasing cash for their...
Somebody paid cash for their kid, and I'm tired of it. But anyways, I just wanted to vent a little bit.
And wait,
I
Sharon,
just wanted to say,
we're also back at this. I mean, and you're the OG, so you know better than us, but we're also back at this emotional offering. People are just getting emotional because they're seeing... And so here we are now, but Melissa, I keep calling her my bonus offer, but I had 3 offers. They all had, I think one had 17 offers. One had over 10, and Melissa's had over 13. So we're right back in that. And, you know, there's that, what it was priced at, because when we pulled the comps, the comps supported a much higher price.
It was definitely underpriced.
So then there's that underpricing. Now we've got all these, there are just so many factors that go into that it's just like, it makes my head spin. It really does.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I think is if a house is priced aggressively and properly, it will end up with multiple offers. But the ones who are trusting the market, they're certainly the ones that are sort of sitting on the market. But there's so many people in this demographic that Melissa just happens to be in, right? It's that sort of that first-time home buyer and the right sizer and everybody wanting it as much. And here's the thing. The truth is we really don't know if it was somebody buying it for their children, but it could have been somebody who sold, you know, their right sizing. They sold a big 4-bedroom colonial and they just want a small 2-bedroom house now, you know. It could have been somebody from, you know, that wanted to be near the pond and this is a second property for them.
And that one,
so they can
I'm telling you,
it.
even though it wasn't fancy with all the bells and whistles, it touched all the feels. It really did. Like the kitchen was great, you know, the yard was great. I kept telling Melissa that if she needed to, we could go on YouTube and we could do the roof if we wanted to. Like we were capable of getting a ladder and doing the roof.
Well,
It had
I
a new
drove by
roof.
it 3 times myself, and you know, when I went down there, you know, the beach was busy. It was hot out that day, and you know, that's an attraction in Pembroke. So it could have potentially been, like I said, somebody who just had, you know, that extra money and they really wanted it. But with the emotional offers, yes, I do think that is happening. And I think the reason for that, and I know that Jasmine Glasgow from Maritime Mortgage, who we all use, a lot of us use at the office. I mean, Melissa and I use her for sure. You know, she's told Melissa, the rates aren't going anywhere. So I think that people are beyond the point of, I'm going to wait to see if the rates come down.
Or the prices go down.
They are not.
Yeah.
Exactly. They know they're not going to. So,
and honestly, I don't mean to interrupt you, but one of the first things I said to Mel was, if this goes over, let's just say it goes for X and X. The next time you look at that house, you're going to be paying, it's going to start at X and X.
Yep.
Like
that's now a comp.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's how it happens. And that's why right now I know a lot of people are really upset about their property values, how much, and I said this 2 years ago with this emotional bidding and people just going so far over the list price. Assessors look 2 years prior sales information to get our assessments on our properties. So that's why everybody's property assessments are up and everybody's complaining. Like I know in Pembroke, a lot of people think it has something to do with the community center. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with previous sales. But that sort of equates to what you were just talking about. But I'm going to let you guys get onto your topic because I'm curious to hear what else you have in store. And thank you so much, Kristen, for being the Tuesday co-host along with Melissa.
The temporary permanent fill-in.
Temporary permanent fill-in.
I've been out in the cabana handwriting notes to everybody in the meadows today because we had a sale in there. So I'm handwriting 40-something notes. So that's what I've been doing all day.
Well, I have a good thing up my sleeve right now from Mel, so we're gonna have to talk about that tomorrow.
Maybe a letter to a neighborhood. All right. Well, thanks, Sharon. Enjoy your night.
All right. Bye. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. So that was Sharon McNamara, broker owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, and my co-host on Saturdays. Again, we are moving from 8 to 9. Before we were from 10 to 11, but now we're going to be on at 8 to 9. So be sure to wake up bright and early with us and listen to our new time slot. But did we even say what our topic is now? Okay, good.
Maximizing your home's value.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because
renovation tips for selling.
Yeah. So,
and I think even though we did go on a little rant, I think it does kind of, we can tie that in because that house had
it showed really nice.
It was well taken care of. You did not have the feeling that things were not taken care of or addressed when they came up. I showed another house in Lakeville over the weekend. We put an offer in on that one. That one was the same exact way. You knew that there was such a pride of ownership in that house that it was so apparent.
Yeah. I would say that there was, with this particular house, there was one issue and I won't say it, but there was one issue that I was willing to overlook. And I'm sure if you're looking at me like, what was it? But if you wrap your brain around it, you can figure it out.
Yeah.
I was willing to look past one issue that, could be a big one.
Yeah.
And because everything else was great.
Yeah.
So if that was the only thing that I had to take care of, I was willing to go as high as I did.
Right.
Anyway,
so I think the first thing, if you're thinking about selling, like we said, in the next, from September until the end of the year, the first thing to do is assess your home's needs. See what needs to be done. And it's difficult sometimes, but you really have to go through your house like the eyes of a buyer.
Yeah.
And think about, things that are, and you know what? Maybe you can't do a new roof, or maybe you can't, but you can definitely do other things that will not make them, keep thinking, oh, well, if they didn't do that, what else didn't they do?
Yeah.
So really go through, and I know this sounds stupid, but I'm thinking of one. I once had buyers come through, and all of the vents in the ceiling from the heat
were
dirty.
like
dirty.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a Swiffer. Just get your Swiffer and just Swiffer it up.
It's so funny because the fan in my bathroom at Mary's house, every once in a while, I'll stand on the counter and I'll clean it. But I'm like, how often do people clean these things?
Well, some of them don't at all.
But I because I have a really big mirror, so you can see the ceiling when you're looking in the mirror. And I'm like, oh, so every time it is dirty, I'm like, I got to get up there and clean it.
I used your bathroom the other day and almost put a note on them.
That says clean your bathroom?
No, I almost put a note on and said, hi.
Oh, yeah. I know. I have a lot of makeup on my counter, so I try to put it away when people are coming.
So what do you think is the most important? I know how I feel about it, but what do you think is the most important when you're thinking about selling your house? Where would you focus on first?
Well, first I would say to assess your needs. So walk around and go from room to room, write down okay. And I understand that people have pride of ownership, and rightfully so. I respect that. But you got to go through room from room, write it down. What improvements could I make to this room? Do the exterior of the house.
Yeah.
Go through the garage, go through the basement. Yeah. If you have a shed, a cabana, anything, the pool, anywhere.
Yeah.
Walk around and just write down what could possibly be a question mark for somebody.
Right. That's what I would think too. I think first thing is curb appeal. I think, weed, trim your bushes, anything in the outside. If you have any, shingles that are loose or things that, shutters that are missing. Yep. Clean your gutters.
Clean your gutters. Yeah. Even you said that to me over the weekend. You were like, look, you can even clean your own gutters.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's nothing that drives me. I mean, and listen, my house probably has some of those little weeds hanging out of it, but I'm not selling my house.
Yeah.
If I were selling my house, I would make sure that there was, no stone unturned.
Yeah, but you're in the industry, so
right.
It should look.
But you're right.
Tip-top.
Highlight key areas to focus on: interior upgrades and essential repairs.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think is an essential repair?
I think that an essential repair would be if there was a leak, if let's just say underneath your sink is leaking, or when the kids were little, we're notorious for they would play around in the bathtub and water would, and we had a little water leaky looks on the kitchen. It's nothing but I would paint the ceiling and make sure that there's no questions, and make sure everything looks neat and clean and tidy. And we kind of got off because Julia does such a good job with that. She tries to keep us on top.
Oh, so you want to go to curb appeal? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So what are some tips that you would give to a seller to enhance their curb appeal? So landscaping, painting, lighting outside.
Yeah. Front door upgrade, I think, is huge too.
Yeah.
Even just a fresh coat of paint on your front door is going to
wild is every house. I've noticed the past couple houses that I've looked at, I've looked to see if they have a storm door or a screen door or something. for my cat. So I can open my front door and not feel so like trapped, you know, like, but that's something that I have been looking for as like a homeowner is like, oh, do they have, I literally the other day before I put in my offer, I was like, oh, wait, I want to look through the pictures again. And then I was like going through and I was like, oh, does it have a storm door? And I looked to see because I couldn't remember when I was there.
Well, that's so funny that you say that because I was
She likes to look out the window.
I was looking with buyers that I'd been working with for a few months now, and it was like boom, 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 that all the houses that we looked at had kitty doors that went down to the basement to their little litter box.
Yeah, so the house that I had an accepted offer on in Carver last year had a kitty door to the basement.
Yeah, super cute.
Yeah, I know. Listen, everybody's a cat person. You just have to give them a chance.
Yeah, listen, my little cousin, what is it? What is she? Oh, my niece, my kitty niece.
Oh, Zoe. Oh, yeah, her name's Zoe, too.
Yeah, I love her now. And I wasn't a true cat person, but we almost kept her.
I know, you did. You did almost keep her. All right, let's move on to, like, kitchen and bathroom upgrades.
This I also think. Kitchen, aside from, of course, replacing your cabinets, but kitchen and bathroom, I think you can do big wows for very minimal.
I would say the fixtures.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And even lighting fixtures. Changing out your, like, over my island, when Jake comes home, he's my handy handyman. I'm changing out my fixtures over my island.
Do you have pendants?
We have pendants.
And you're going to do what?
I'm going to do
lighting?
I'm going to do pendants, but they're just going to be upgraded, updated. And I think that's going to be a big wow. And over my sink, I have one of those old... You know what I'm going to call it? Like a
chandelier?
A BOOB light.
Oh.
And that's coming down, and I'm going to do a pendant over the kitchen sink.
I can't believe you just spelled that. I don't even know
if I can say it.
I don't think, I mean.
I don't know.
It's not a bad word.
I know, but it's not professional.
I don't know. George will have to let us know if you are allowed to say that.
But yeah.
It's passable.
Okay.
Even adding modern appliances.
Yeah, I mean, but appliances can be expensive.
Yeah.
So, you know, not getting like the tip top, appliance package from whatever appliance store.
How about, because don't you think like you could go into a beautiful house and they're like, oh, the microwave doesn't work. Just swap it out. Swap it out.
Well, what if it's built in? It's going to be more expensive.
Still swap it out. I would.
Yeah.
I would. Okay, and also like my first floor bath, my half bath, that's also getting a zhuzhen out.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Right now we have a pedestal sink in there, but I
got changed in there one time.
Yep. So that's another one. And let me tell you, changing out your bathroom vanity is not a lot. I mean, you could do it.
When we did the renovations here at our office, when we bought this office, 4 years ago now, we redid the bathroom on the first floor for the guests. And I remember Sharon and I picked out that vanity. And it was not, I thought they would be more expensive than that.
Yeah, you can get beautiful.
And then, of course, we had McNamara Plumbing put it in.
But even that, just doing a little refresh in your bathroom, I'm going to say that in a half bath, you could do it for way less than $1,000.
Well, my thought, like, as a buyer, when I walk through the house, like, I'm always looking for the cleanliness of the bathroom and the kitchen. Yeah. Like, I don't know why. Like, I'm not, like, a clean, neat freak, but, like, I just feel like it shows a lot about somebody, like, how clean their kitchen and bathroom are.
Yeah, I mean, this
especially when they know people are coming through.
Yeah, well, we've had... Right, we could tell horror stories about houses we've showed.
Yeah. Maybe one day we could do a horror show. Maybe during Halloween season we could do a horror show.
We're gonna add that.
Real estate horrors.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. So pencil us in.
All right, so
fruit fly,
fresh paint and flooring, huge.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah.
A gallon of paint, even though I'm not going to say that it's inexpensive because paint is super expensive.
Yeah.
But paint goes such a long way.
Yeah. I've heard a lot recently of some properties that don't have the greatest color scheme, or maybe a lot of different colors all combined. I've heard some feedback that's like, what's up with the paint?
Yeah, and it can be. So here's the other thing too. You have to remember, when you put your house on the market, your real estate agent, Realtor, is going to get professional pictures, and it's like online dating now. I mean, you have one shot.
Gross.
You have one shot to give a first impression.
Yeah.
And sometimes not everybody has vision, and not everybody thinks, oh, I can just paint that. Some people are like, oh, no, I don't like that. I don't like that color. And that's all that they can see. And why would you want to, give up that potential buyer?
Yeah.
Just because of paint. Just have it painted. If you don't want to hire someone, then just do it yourself. Get a ladder.
Well, I've seen some DIY paint jobs that are just not great.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm a good painter.
I don't know if I would suggest that. You're a good painter. I don't think I am. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I'm a good painter. I just don't like the setup and the cleanup. It's the worst part.
Well, Mary and I did the renovations in my bathroom during COVID.
Yeah.
We did them all.
Well, I think that there's also someone, and doesn't Emmy, who's here? She, her husband is a painter. So
yeah.
you can always call Emmy. She'll hook you up
Emmy
with
Flaherty. Her contact information is on BostonConnect.com. Her husband's a painter. So,
and maybe you don't need to paint every room. Maybe you just want to paint a couple rooms. And here's the other thing. Now, you talked about it. How important is picking neutral colors? It may not be your favorite. You may want to let your feelings fly and be creative. But when you're selling your house, that might not be the time to do it. You want to have a nice neutral, soft, so that everybody
color palette.
Yeah, right.
Your phone is like blowing up. Sorry, it's distracting me.
Oh, you know what? You know who's blowing my phone up?
Who?
Stephanie Millette.
Oh.
Who is also my partner in crime.
Yeah.
Steph and I have a new listing coming on in Lakeville.
Ooh. Can you talk about it or no?
I think we can give a little bit about it. It's a great house. Got a great backyard. That was one of the things Steph and I talked this morning about, the sellers getting a great backyard picture because they have a fabulous backyard.
Oh, good.
But that's going to be on, I think, right after Labor Day.
Nice.
But yeah, that's going to be great. And Steph is helping them buy a house that is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about staging and things like this, like, nice. Getting, it really does make a difference. And we are seeing a lot of houses that are hitting the market right now. I don't know if people are just, trying to just capitalize, but, there's a lot of stuff that, put the laundry away. Don't leave the laundry on the floor.
Put the laundry away.
Put the dishes in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
So, which look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Goes
well,
right into
so I feel like a lot of staging can be done by just decluttering. Like, staging doesn't necessarily mean that you have to bring things into the home or like change things out, or even sometimes it doesn't even mean you have to take anything out. It just means rearranging, like what makes more sense, what makes the flow even better. Like, Sharon's a big advocate of like taking up area rugs, because like you're not selling an area rug, you're selling the floors in your house. So like making sure people can see the floors, taking down like the super rich drapery, heavy drapery, bringing the sunlight in, just opening up the space a little bit. So staging doesn't necessarily mean bringing in things that aren't yours. It means how can we change this space to be more functional with the things that are already here? And how can we accentuate
the house?
Yeah.
The windows,
people are going to see that, like, you don't have, like, if you have a million pairs of shoes and nowhere to put them, they're going to notice that you have nowhere to put your shoes. Not that
Library
you have
Place,
really great shoes.
When we were doing the professional pictures for that, Michelle, I feel bad for her because she has to deal with me when we're doing pictures, because
you should feel
awesome.
bad for Brian too. Yeah. So Brian Doherty is just like, oh gosh, these ladies are nuts.
So she took a picture, and then I was like, I got to take the curtains were beautiful. They were custom curtains, but they hid how gorgeous the windows were. Mm-hmm. And once we took them down, it was like it made such a difference with the pictures, with the natural light. And yeah, and to go back to Steph, we went to this new listing, and it's a home. They've lived in the home for like 25 years, and it's warm, and you walk in, it's so warm and welcoming in the kitchen. You just want to hang out there. But we gave them our recommendations, which was, you're moving anyways. Let's declutter. Just get rid of some of the stuff. And they've done every single thing that we've asked them to do.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's all about delivery too, because like, you know, you're not going into somebody's home to insult them or, oh wow. What is that? Is that like a motorbike? It sounded like a moped or something, like a really fast moped. You're not going in, like, you never mean to insult anybody or just, you know, make anybody feel bad. But I mean, this is a professional opinion. It's people are going to go in there and they're only going to see the fact that you don't have enough closet space for your clothes. Yeah. They're not, like, if everything is jam-packed, stuffed everywhere, that means that you don't have room for everything. And that is going to be people are going to be hyper, I don't know what the
a stager told me that once, and I never forgot it. Yeah. That if you have, and some people it's great. They want it as just a little accent piece. But if you have a thing to hang your pots and pans from the ceiling, you're telling people that you don't have enough room to store your pots and pans. Yeah. Like, well, that was like a big thing at one point. Like, you hang your pots and pans over your island or something. I had that when I lived in Randolph. I had that. Really? Yeah. I'll never forget, my cousin lives in Canada, and we went to IKEA. We didn't have IKEA here yet. And I used to plan my trips to Canada around going to IKEA. Oh, and I got the IKEA pots and pans holder. And I hung all my pans when I first moved into Mary and Sam's house, there were pots hanging. But I don't even know why, because they're in the cupboard and they fit. So I don't know why they were like that, but maybe it was like the style. Like, let's show off our pots and pans. But yeah, I think a lot of staging has to do with decluttering and just using what you already have. Yeah, and just showing a clean, open space. Take everything off your countertops. Yeah. You know, take everything down. Just keep simple. Let somebody picture their little, you know, I'm thinking of like a theme, ducks, Christmas trees, whatever. Like, you know, people have like let them picture their theme in the kitchen, not yours. Their theme. Oh, I was like, where are you going with this? You know, people have like country themes or their aesthetic, their style. Let their imaginations go wild. But we only have 5 minutes left of the show. I want you to be able to give your contact information now to everybody, but what would you say are sort of like the final thoughts for this topic? I know we didn't get through everything, but... You know what? We actually did. Oh. Yeah. Well, good. It was a quick one. Well, it's a good thing that we rambled off in the beginning, because we wouldn't have had a whole show. We would have found more to talk about. But I think number one would be, in my opinion, number one is... curb appeal. Do your curb appeal. Mow the lawn. Do your weeds. Even between if you have a garage, even between your garage and the driveway, get those weeds out. Just weed everything. Make it nice and clean. Blow all the stuff away. Fresh paint in neutral colors, I think, is a huge sell too. And simple kitchen and bathroom updates. Paint the bathroom, maybe change out that vanity, change out your faucets. That's another one. It's not a lot. It's like $100. Yeah. They don't have to be fancy. You're like we talked about, your lighting fixtures. And most important, declutter and stage. Yeah. And again, staging doesn't mean that you have to go to Home Goods and, you know, spend $2,000. No. It's, you know, maybe change your floral bedroom pattern to just plain white. Just nice, neutral, clean. A lot of people may not want to move after they do these things. I know. Well, we need more inventory, so please move. Please move. Please move. But why don't you give your contact information out to all of our listeners so they can get in touch with you? My phone number is 617-448-4896. Again, it's 617-448-4896. My email address is kristen@bostonconnect.com. You can always call the office. Yeah. You can hit us up on Facebook. These are posted, so you can always, you know, tag me, tag us, tag Melissa, tag any of us if you have any questions. But we really, going forward, we have 3 minutes, but really going forward, we want you guys to call in. Yeah. So Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell all your friends about us. 781-837-4900 is the number to the studio. We're always live on Facebook. What?
Sharon, we have to... Sharon said to please get your cereal off the refrigerator.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't have space for the cereal, neither will I.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe that's where I get it from. If you don't have space for XYZ, then neither will I.
Yeah.
Yes, very true. Very, very true. But if you want to listen to any of our past shows, you can go to talkrealestateroundtable.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Boston Connect Real Estate, Kristen Howlett, Realtor.
And we have some great shows coming up.
Yeah. Yes, we do have some really great shows, and we want some more interaction, so be sure to follow us on social media, so both on Facebook and on Instagram, to find out what our topic is going to be, because we want to hear from you. We'll give you a little shout out if you're too nervous to call in, but we want to get so comfortable with everybody that that everybody calls in every single week.
We know that there are regulars that listen to us every week.
Yeah. No, trust me. Like, sometimes I get like, your voice sounds so familiar. And I'm like, do you listen to WATD?
Well, it's funny because we listen to Clubhouse a lot. And Sharon, every morning we listen to it, mostly every morning. And Sharon will be texting me, why aren't you talking? Some days I'm like, I just don't feel like talking.
Well, it'll never be on a Tuesday because you might have to talk with me and everybody that's listening. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Again, BostonConnect.com for all of our contact information. And once again, we will be live on Saturday from 8 to 9.
Early bird catches the worm.
Woo! Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.